Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Anna. I'm a little bit spooky, and today, as promised, we're gonna do something very everyday and soft using the Huda Pretty Grunge palette. I have been talking about doing something that's just to show the versatility of the palette that's very everyday, approachable, just easy, throw it on kind of look, just to show that you can do more than just pretty grunge with this palette and wild, dramatic looks, that it is very oddly approachable and easy to use palette as well. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to kind of show you a couple of stages of a very simple, easy peasy, nothing to it eye, up to something with a little bit of oomph to it, because that's my personal aesthetic, is to just be a little bit extra with the eyeshadow. So that's what we're doing today, and if that interests you, just go ahead, keep on watching. But before you do, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know if there's any more ideas you have with the Pretty Grunge palette of looks you want to see. I'm really into this palette. I find very inspiring. It makes me want to do very goth grunge, kind of cyberpunk dystopian looks. It is definitely pulling that out in me. So if you want to see some more just looks of me sitting down playing, creating wild smoky eyes and experimenting, let me know down below. But for today, let's keep it chill. Let's keep it nice and do something just everyday appropriate. This is makeup that I would wear if I worked in an office, or, you know, just running errands, going shopping, the normal day-to-day stuff, you know. And I am gonna put a little bit of sparkle in there though. But okay, let's go ahead and get into the makeup. I'm gonna clip my hair out of the way really quickly because it's bugging me. I've already done everything on the face. I just have some lip balm and lip liner on, but I am gonna change the lip probably to something a little bit more matchy the way I like to do. But yeah, the face makeup, it is the Missha Cushion Glow Layering Cushion Foundation. Powder, I've used a bit of the Maybelline Fit Me, a little Fenty Cream Bronzer, and the Physicians Formula Breakfast Club little palette for everything else. Blush, highlight, bronzer, all that is from within here. I just went with the peachy shades and this blush, or this highlighter down here, and some of the bronzers. It's nothing super unique that you couldn't get from any other palettes, but everything I did use today will be listed and linked below for your convenience. If you know me, I don't typically do makeup first, but when I'm doing just quick everyday out the door makeup, I kind of do. If it's a palette that I know I'm not going to have any fallout and I'm not doing anything special in the eyes, I go ahead and just do the face first. But it's a rare occasion. I just kind of a habit now to do my eyes first. It's my little method to my madness, and there is always a method to my madness. All right, Pretty Grunge, here we are. And yeah, it's a kind of I wouldn't say it's a loud palette, but it's a very, I would think, somewhat intimidating palette if you just look at it at a glance and not really pay attention to like the nuances within here. It seems a little, ooh, I don't know what to do with that. But I've had so much fun and have been so inspired by this little palette. Well, it's not little, but you know, I've been so inspired by this palette. And today, what I want to do is just focus into these shades over here. I'm really loving this side of the palette. These taupey tones, and of course you could go in with the mauve shades as well. Very pretty. I do bounce into those occasionally, just depending on the tone that I want to pull in on the eye. But for the lid, I think this shade called Stand Up is just gorgeous. It's soft. It's not an insane crazy shimmer. I think it can look so pretty just across the lid. And yeah, I want to show you maybe later in this look how you can maybe incorporate something that's a little bit more, has a little more pizzazz to it, like the shade Maverick. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to dust the shade Heroin all over the lid with a little fluffy brush. Heroin is a just very soft, almost skin-like shade on me. It's got a little bit of peach and warmth in it though, that's gives a little something extra. And I just like to use this as almost like a base shade. It just gives a nice little tone throughout the lid. Now, I will say this palette is a little fallout heavy. So if I was doing anything beyond just a soft, easy, everyday look, I would definitely do eyes first with this one. Just because of the nature of these shades, they're very smoky, they're dark, they're a little flaky, some of the shimmers. And now I'm going to take the shade Liberty, which is the kind of a peachy, I think it was described like a burnt peach or something. I can't really remember how it was described, but it's just a really pretty, warm, light burnt peach. And I'm going to run that through the socket, blend up and out. I really appreciate that little kiss of warmth in this palette. It really does help kind of ground looks and keep them from getting too gray looking or too purple. It's something really nice that can flow into a skin tone. And I'm just taking it like this, just dusting it through the transition and coming up and out. And you could stop here and throw the stand-up shimmer across the lid and be good to go. And that could be really pretty. I might actually do that just to show you. And you don't have to go with the shade Heroin. You could have just gone straight in with Liberty, applied it like so. I like to buff my transition shades kind of up and out because I have a lot of space to fill. And this shade can be built up and get a little more pigmentation from it if you wanted to and desired that. I'm just wanting to keep it a little bit soft with this one, just have a hint of that warmth. And that adds just a little bit of shape to the eye, a little bit of structure, but nothing crazy. And what we can do now and call it good would be taking the shade Stand Up, which is a gorgeous, I think it's described as a copper, but it's a very, very soft, almost champagne copper. It is a unique color. Even though it looks like it might be kind of boring, it's something special about it. I'm going to take it on an E27. I'm a fan of applying shimmers like in this manner with this kind of fluffy brush for when I'm trying to get just a soft wash of the shimmer across the lid. I think it works really well for my aesthetic, what I like to go for, and for my eye shape. So I'm just going to take Stand Up just across here all the way, kind of up a little bit above the crease and just buffed out. And it just gives us a really pretty kind of wet look. Very reminiscent of something that you would have in the new nude palette, or the I Need a Nude palette. But it just gives that pretty wet sheen that I think is just gorgeous for day to day. And still, there's something very fresh and kind of elevated about it. But it's so easy. And there you go. I would throw on some mascara and call it good here. But I want to show you just some options of what you can do if you like a little more definition or whatnot. But I think this would be a beautiful stopping point for just running out the door, but you want a little something on the lid. And I'm taking it pretty high above my crease and just letting it be a nice wash across the lid. And I think it's so pretty like that. It is such a lovely tone. It's almost like a very muted rose gold in a way. But it has that nice wet glow to it. And I think it's just pretty. And yes, the mascara, no liner, nothing like that. This could be it. And you would have such a beautiful, fresh, yet kind of put together eye look. If I wanted to deepen things up just a little bit, because I do like a little more definition in my socket line, I would go in with the shade Rise Up or Love Anarchy, depending on the tone I was going for. I think today we'll take a little bit of Rise Up. And I'm just gonna tuck that right here with the same E25. And we're just gonna bring that into the socket itself. Just right there. And it just gives a little bit more of a contour to the eye, which I prefer because I have, hooded lids. I like a little bit more going on, but it's still very, very soft. And something else I've discovered with this palette is the shade Hope makes a beautiful eyeliner. It's like just the softest brown eyeliner. But yeah, I just would deepen up right there with this shade, and again, you could call it good. And if I wanted to add even more oomph, pizzazz to it, the shade Brave is really pretty, so I would take a little bit of that maybe. Just tiny bit, same brush. And this brush gives such a light application because it's fluffy, but it's just smaller. Taking the shade Brave just right out here, and that brings in some of that more rosy, mauvey tones of the palette, and pairing it with the warm of Liberty, I think is really nice and a nice way to incorporate those mauvey tones without it getting too cool. And just doing this little number right here. And that's pretty. That's pretty right there. And I am tapping the brush off quite a bit before I go in because there is a good bit of powderiness with these mattes, but they're so soft and so blendable. Fair trade-off. But yeah, I'm just taking this shade like right on this outer part of the lid and just adding a little bit of structure and shape. And there we go. Just pretty, just very pretty. The versatility in here is wonderful. This is a more versatile palette than, say, like I Need a Nude or what I felt like Empowerment had. It's a little bit more of a softness in here. And if you want to lean into those cooler tones, you have the shade Freedom, Beauty Chaos, Fearless. That would be so pretty to add in if you wanted to cool it down some. I kind of like this floating, kind of dancing on warmth, but it's not completely warm either. It's a little bit of a neutral leaning warm. And I think it just looks very flattering and soft and pretty. We take maybe a little bit more of our stand-up shade. Just a tad more of that in there. I just love that shade. It's such a simple shade. There's something about it that's just lovely. Now, to add a little definition, if you want to do like kind of a bit of a liner at the lash line, which I do like to do on myself, just something very soft and with a little bit of lift, I'm going to take the shade called Hope, which is not the darkest brown in the palette, but it's the most neutral brown in the palette. I used it the other day to create a very structured eye, and it's so good because it has the depth but not so dark. I don't know, because you also have the shade Nirvana in here, which is a very, very dark plummy brown. And something about Hope, I just think it looks really nice as eyeliner because it has that softness to it, that it's not screaming eyeliner. So I'm taking a little bit of that on a liner brush, really tapping it off. And I'm just gonna put that right here at the lash. And just gives that little bit of lift, having some definition right there. And I'll just kind of do the softest little flick, just so it kind of diffuses. Is my shirt making way too much noise? It feels noisy. It's one of those shacket things. I hate that word. Jacket shirt things. And I've actually had it for years before that was kind of a style or trendy. I remembered it and pulled it out. I was like, oh yeah, I have one of those. But yeah, something like that just gives that little bit of lift right out there. And you could definitely like build this up and do whatever suits your vibe. But when I'm picturing just everyday makeup, this is what I personally go for when I'm just or grabbing lunch, whatever, doing something with the girls type of thing. And just want to look a little put together. This is what I do. And you could do whatever on the lower lash line. I'm going to actually take this little liner brush and clean it off. I'm going to take a little bit of stand up just across here, just to make it look kind of finished. I like to have just a tiny something on the lower lash line, even if it's not a lot, just to give to me it gives a completeness. Take a little flat brush and we'll go into Liberty. And I'm just gonna create just a little bit of definition under there, very softly. And of course you can go in through your eyeliner or whatever it is that you like to do on the day-to-day. I know a lot of the gals in my life, or a lot of women I know, eyeliner's pretty much all they do, and like they don't go without eyeliner, in fact. So no, that's like a staple thing to do for a lot of people is eyeliner. I don't know, I like just to use shadow personally. Actually, a lot of the women I know have the liner tattooed on. Girl, I couldn't commit to that. That's too much commitment. But yeah, surprising number of my girlfriends have permanent makeup. All right, a little bit more stand up, which is, I think it's fine if you like that. You know, it's easy. And it's kind of fun to, when I do their makeup or something, to build on it. Because it's kind of already there. It does create a little bit of simplicity. The thing is, you have to get touched up so often. And then, like, what if you get tired of it? But that's just, I would get tired of it. That's why I never got dermaplaning, or not dermaplaning. That's why I never got, what is it called? Where they do the brow hairs. What is that called? It's not dermaplaning. The little micro hair stroke tattoos. I couldn't commit to that. Like, no, I know it's not gonna last forever, but still, I'm like, I like to change my brow shape. And I think the only one that I could commit to would be like the lip liner, maybe, if it like actually matched my lip color, because I have that, my lips are I have the thing with my lips where I have like two lip lines. Like, I have the pigment, but then my lip actually is bigger than where the pigment is. I can't remember what they call that, where it's like double bordered. So I always fill in the further out border where there's no pigment, but I would get that filled in, like tattooed in probably, and I had a friend that did it, and it looks beautiful. So that would probably be something I could get down with, just to not have to do lip liner. Because, yeah, I have it's like, okay, I have my lip line where the pigment just stops, and it's shy of where my actual curve of my lip is. So my lips look really small, but they're not. It looks like I have, like, the way people's lips look like sometimes when they have filler, it has that look. That's how my lips just look. And also, I would still get lip filler. I'm not opposed to that. I would still get just a kiss of that in there. Just like right here to fill out this part where I don't have a lot of volume. I'm a very restrained person when it comes to anything that could be slightly permanent. Alright, I'm taking my big fluffy one more time. Just give that a little blend. But yeah, I know a lot of women though, they tend to always, with the eyeliner, that like that's their staple. They just throw that on, some mascara, and they're good to go. Like, they don't even do, most of my girlfriends don't even do foundation, nothing like that. They don't do blush, they don't do highlighter. They're just more concerned with like having a little definition on the eye. They maybe will fill their brow in and mascara. That's it. Sometimes they do lip gloss, but I don't know. They're not fussy with their makeup. I think this is pretty. Now, if I wanted to add a little more sparkle, the shade Maverick is so pretty in this palette. And I think it doesn't get the attention. Like, Rebelle gets all the attention in this palette. And there's some other shades in here. Like, I know everybody's like, woo, the swirly shade, the mingledy shade, and Rebelle. But look, the shade Avant-Garde is special. It is what appears to be like a soft metallic black with sparkles in it that feels like butter, and it is so beautiful. It has gold and silver sparkle. Oh my goodness, it is one of the most gorgeous eyeshadows I have ever seen. It is so unique and subtly unique, and I really like that. But the shade Maverick, it comes off like, I think it's just described as a silver. No, it is so much more than a silver. It has champagne in it. It's not that super gray silver. It's a silver with a warmth in it, and it is so pretty and so light and bright. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit of it on this brush, and it's not the super flaky formula. It's a little flaky, but not like Rebelle. And you could just take a little bit of this right here, and look at that. That's so pretty. And just let it flow. I think it just gives such a pretty look. I love this little shade. And it looks like molten white silver. Like it's a really unique tone. I'm not the biggest fan of just still silver eyeshadow at all. I really don't care for it on myself. I think it looks very sickly on me. But that color looks so pretty. I love silver on deeper skin tones. Oh my god, and like brown eyes. I think that looks so beautiful. I love that contrast, but like on me, it just makes me look like sickly. So I like these unique kind of silvers with different undertones. But yeah, just taking a little bit of Maverick, like right here, and it just intensifies that little bit of glow. And there you go. This would be my everyday eye with this palette. Or this is my everyday eye with this palette. It's easy, it's quick. This would have taken me like 2 seconds. I've just been sitting here rambling at you because I like to talk to you guys. This is one of the highlights of my day, is sitting down here, turning the camera on and just talking to y'all and playing in makeup. You have no idea the joy this brings me. It's so much. But anyway, yeah, so this would be it. You could throw a little brown liner in the tight line. I think could be really pretty. A little bit of definition at the lash line, a little more if you want. A black brown mascara. Oh, would look great with this. I don't have one. Mine dried up. So I'm just going to use a regular old mascara that I got open. I think we'll go with this Giorgio Armani Eyes to Kill, because that's one I'm trying to kind of use up. I don't love this mascara. It's okay, but it's one that it's very gentle and like kind of soft. So I see it as a good like just day-to-day mascara. So I'm just trying to go through it a little bit. It's just a sample size, but it's nothing to write home about. And I always curl my lashes. You know, talking about the permanent makeup and stuff, and like why people would opt for that, or why my girlfriends have actually opted for those things. It's because they're busy. They're busy people. They're much busier than me. I get it, not everybody has the luxury of time that I might have to sit here. They have kids, they've got jobs. I have a pumpkin, I have a dog, and this is what I do. So I understand I have the luxury to sit here and just fart around with makeup. But even when I did work and went to school and am busy, I'm that kind of person that would get up extra early, make the time to do, so I can have this time to myself and drink my coffee and get ready. That was something that I enjoyed every morning, no matter how sleepy I was having that. It was like a meditation time first thing, where do my skincare, put on something like this on the face and just chill for a minute, and just gave me time to kind of wake up, basically, instead of jumping straight into throwing something on and getting out the door. But yeah, my girlfriends, though, are busy. They're busy girls. But my friends they've got full-time jobs. Some of them have more than one job. And yeah, so I understand not having the time to do all this stuff and wanting to opt for something that's just there. It's easy. It's on. I get it. Yeah, dude, this is a good mascara because it's kind of soft and fluttery. It's not going to give you a whole lot of volume. It's not going to do crazy length. It's just kind of there. Let's move on to lips. Obviously, I think the lips should be kind of soft, but you could definitely do a pretty bold lip with this look. Ooh. Well, I am wound up all of a sudden. Girl, I don't know what's got into me. I'm just going to take a little lip liner. Just a brown lip liner, nothing special. Just been my favorite little thing to do lately. Yeah, if you want to see some more just everyday, easy makeup that can look a little bit elevated sometimes or whatever, drop it in the comments down below, girl. Just tell me whatever you want to tell me down below, okay? We can just chit chat and have us a good time. I do love talking to you guys in the comments, and especially like going back and forth having a conversation. I love that. So yeah, and my DMs are always open on Instagram as well if you just want to chit chat, and Twitter or X if you use that, but I don't use X a whole lot. Anyway, yeah, that's all for today. Thank you for hanging out with me. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe and stay spooky. Even though I don't think you were very spooky today. Bye now.